Jerry speaking. Welcome to TheCrazyBunch's WebShow, episode number 59. Now, before we begin this episode, folks, I just like to say what's been happening to my audio. It's been having difficulties with its default ends and pizzas, something like that. And Josh, if you watch this right now, thank you for making me fix my audio. It's just Josh just made me want to get this. It's not what was going on. It was just difficult. Just getting anyway. It's just too much, you know. Anyway, he keeps doing that every time we're doing a Friday show. You know what I mean? Well, if it happens again, I'll do a behind the scenes episode of FWL. You know what I mean? That was just very cautious. So anyway, I'll have a deaf topic for this episode. So I have like 3 topics to read on, let's say, well, on the episode. I'm not gonna say what on the episode on Will Smith slapping Chris Rock or something like that. We'll do it at the end of the show. We'll see what happens. Then we got Apple sues to terminate flagship at the, let's say, for example, Canada, something like that. And then 3 retirement people coming away. And remix mentioned Jim Carrey. There's 1 more I'm going to mention, episode number 362. And that is, of course, 2 more. E3, and of course, Sonic Hedgehog 2. I wanted to talk about it now, but since we're having audio problems on my end, we're going to have talk about it anyway, since we're having difficulties, go blah, blah, blah. So without further ado, let's talk about Arnie Carroll right now. Shall we? So we got. He was an Australian puppeteer, entertainer, and radio television personality, comic writer, television producer, and comic strip writer. Most recognized for his roles as the man behind and inside Aussie Ostrich on Hey Hey It's Saturday, Cartoon Corner, and the Daryl Aussie Show. He was born on Going, the son of a fruit farmer. Okay. Oh man. Hold on. Yeah, very exciting stuff. Remix. Watch this episode right now. Anyway, I'll continue on before I even bother. But anyway, very exciting stuff right there. Yeah. I'm not gonna put a wink face, but anyway, next. Anywho, after attending a visit school of broadcasting in Melbourne, how we pronounce his name, he made a radio debut on 3TR, something like that, which is at that time was based in Sale. Okay, makes more sense. Anyway, he became well known as Gillog's radio station GL, something like that, in the 1950s, and joined Melbourne television station GTTV 9, something like that, in the first active year, 1956, that is, as a producer for television, okay? And remix is send me a message, okay? So exciting. Wait, that's my face. Anyway, where are we? Oh yes, he wanted to work on such as the Telex show, both on screen as a producer, and worked with Graham Kennedy. He created the character, the squeaky voice Muppet, okay? Joy Bells, okay? And Professor Ratbaggy, okay? Who owns the origins of Denzel Howan's Professor Nitwitty, okay, from the late 1950s. He later he appears Uncle Ernie, okay? He also played the comic strip version of Jerry G, Joe Bell, and Ollie the Ostrich, okay? His career also began when his career his career began with his greatest fame as a puppeteer and voice of Ozzy Osbourne, okay? Oh, very excited for Monday. Anyway, if you watch this remix for you. So excited. Anyway. Smiley face. Anyway. Move on. Initially on the TEDx show, then on the long-running successful variety show, Hey Hey Saturday, with Daryl Summers, Carroll hired Summers to work on Cartoon Corner and played the role of Ozzy when Summers co-host, okay? The footballer, Pierre McKenna, was focused on the withdrawal. Carroll decided to replace McKenna with one of the old puppet characters with his stash in a suitcase. Cartoon Corner was Summers and Carroll was as host. Wow, okay. Run between 1971 until 1977, which both men left the 9 network for the 0 to 10 network, and Daryl and Ozzy show, an arrangement that would only to last a year, which saw them return to 9 in 1979. Ozzy, played by Carroll, was also Summer's sidekick, okay, on Hey Hey from 1971 until 1994, which, by the way, Carroll retired. He responded his role as Ozzy in 2009 with the second Hey Hey reunion special, later returned to the show's reinstatement in 2010. Carroll and Summers recreated the television production comedy Summers Carroll Productions. Wow, okay. Makes more sense now, huh? Carroll naturally eager to put the illustration of Ozzy separate from his role as puppeteer. He would, for instance, refuse to have his picture taken with the puppet. An article of Carroll in The Age in 1993 described one episode of Hey Hey in which Nigel Kennedy told viewers something like, "Hey, look, there's a bloke over there with his arm up at the bird." To which Carroll responded with a rare on-air put-down. Some people have no sense of fantasy. He died on last Thursday. He was 92 years old at Race Course Grange Care in Marshall's, Victoria, Australia, where he have lived with his partner for almost 50 years. Mifty Marsh. Wow. Without further ado, let's give it a moment of silence of reflection in regard to Arnie Carroll right now. Thank you. Rest in peace, Arnie Carroll. Anyway, I got at least, we'll save these 3 topics about the slap thing from later. Right now, I'm going to talk about Apple sues to terminate flagship store in Canada, okay? And then misses deadlines, okay? Now, just last month, Apple tried to pull out the planned document that its flagship retail store in downtown Toronto. Wow, okay. Toronto, have announced. Anyway, the 85-story building called The One is one under construction and in development by Sean Missouri. Raleigh have announced it. Now, tech giant is suing the developer in order to terminate its lease. Wow, okay. Apple says the disappointed, Missouri development and its own $6.9 million in damages for missed deadlines. Wow. According to Globe and Mail in Canada, the one will be tallest commercial condo building in Canada. It's been 6 years since both companies first signed a lease agreement, but now the storms has likely been happening. Back on January 28th, Apple Canada Incorporated filing with Ontario Superior Court of Justice. The filing said was regret that the Missouri's barriers has resulted in Apple having to take a step of an ending of relationship with Missouri. Wow. stated in Apple and Missouri's lease agreement, Apple can leave the project without penalty if Missouri misses certain deadlines. Wow, okay. Missouri claims his company but has not missed any deadlines, and Apple cannot rescind the lease. In his legal application last year, Missouri said would suffer irreparable, I pronounce this word, harm from losing a world-class talent that was intended to be an anchor tenant from a world-class property, which is a loss that cannot be compensated in damages. Apple seeking a court order knowing that Missouri missed important deadlines and is able to terminate the lease. Apple was able to try to claim £18,600. Wow. Because of the agreement between Apple, Missouri Developments, and the buildings are just Forcer Plus partners, okay? And also going battle for the flagship store, Goldman and Mall reports that Missouri blames the delays on events out in control, okay? There was a plumber and pipe fire, starting in 2019 across Ontario as well as the COVID-19 pandemic, which has delayed a number of construction projects all over. Apple disagrees and claims that in its applications that the delays that will result in Missouri's ability to manage the product. Wow, okay. So that was that report. I wanted to say what's been going on with that, but Jesus. Anyway, my next topic has to do with, let me just see here, Bruce Willis, okay? Now, I said on episode number 362, now, if you didn't hear my audio, what's been going on, it's just been difficulties. Anyway, let me just repeat it again. Anyway, Bruce Willis gives up acting due to brain disorder amnesia, okay? He will step away from acting career due to having been diagnosed with amnesia, okay? Amnesia, I'm pronouncing it. Anyway, condition that impedes a person's ability to speak and write. The actor's family includes his wife, Emma Henning Willis, and his ex-wife, Debbie Moore, announced the condition on Instagram on Wednesday. Amnesia is a patent is connected his abilities, the statement said. Willis, 67, is best known for playing John McClane in the Die Hard films, which made him a star. Which much consideration Bruce is stepping away from his career that has meant to do so much to him. His family wrote to the joint statement. There's really challenging times in our family. We're so appreciative that your continued love, compassion, and support. Willis has 5 daughters, 3 with Miss Moore and 2 with Miss Hemming Willis. Wow, okay. What is amnesia? It's when a person has difficulty with the language or speech, okay? Usually caused by damage to the left side of the brain, okay? Or like a stroke or something like that. Oh my god, I don't know, I had to bug him right after this episode. So anyway, okay. Keep asking me for money like that. I haven't blocked them anyway. Next. Amber's read, listening, speaking, typing, or writing. Speaking problems are most common. Just involve putting words together incorrectly. Wow, okay. Okay, his acting career began in the early 1980s. He did not become a household name until later in that decade, okay? First after starring opposite Untitled Chapter in the ABC TV series Moonlight, and then his 1988 performance is John McClane in the first Die Hard film. Since then, his films, including The Sixth Sense, I can't pronounce that, sorry, and Pulp Fiction, has grossed more than $5 billion worldwide, according to Variety. Okay, he has been nominated for 5 Golden Globes, winning 1 for Moonlight, and 3 Emmys, winning 2. Several actors and other stars have offered their condolences to Willis, and his family followed in the news. Wow. Grace and guts, love to you all. Actress Jamie Lee Curtis wrote in response to Debbie Moore's post. Say lots of love and heed to you all. Right journalist Carrey, journalist Carrey Couric. That was my topic on Bruce Willis. Now let's move on to my next topic, which is Phil Collins retiring. Jonas worried fans during the last performance with Genesis. Now, last time I did talk about his retirement from the last time, but now I just wanted to talk about it. Anyway, Phil Collins announced his last performance with Genesis, but his message is still made by fans worried about him and his health. Well, okay. On Saturday night, Collins appeared in front of a Genesis fans and his O2 Arena show. Like in the past few concerts, the 71-year-old remained seated throughout the performance. Okay? Before delivering the news about his desire to finally find a real job. Tonight's a very special night. It's the last stop of our tour, and it's the last show for Genesis. After tonight, we have got real jobs, he said. Okay? For the last time, he stood up in front of his fans, walked up the stage with his bandmates. Wow, okay. Collins joined Genesis, the last Domino tour, after the band's 14-year live show hiatus. While some fans left devastated by the news of his last performance, most fans took their chance to deliver their heartfelt wishes to Collins as they begged him to dominate his health this time. Fans wish Phil Collins well. On Twitter, fans showcased the bands and Collins with love, and they continued to accept their fact and would no longer see him on stage again. One fan said, "Last night I saw Genesis in concert for the first time, and I also saw their last." Wow. Also of their last. It was amazing, but also so poignant, time announced it. Phil Collins was very frail. His voice was not as powerful, but once was keep saying was anyway. Still there, under it all. He sang his heart out. Bill's despite needed his arrest. Anyway. I keep scrolling down. Anyway. He is someone I would have to love and have seen at concert, wishing him every happy retirement. And I wrote. Read also. I don't want to read everyone. Anyway, moving on. Next, moving on. Collins changed his mind about retirement multiple times, but his recent farewell message seemingly hinted that he will no longer be back on stage to perform again like he used to. He would report that he took his time off in 2011 due to health problems. At that time, Collins responded, changed their statement, and at the time said the drummer only wasted one time off to be with his family. He finally came out of retirement in 2015, but due to spinal injury, he was highly unlikely to be able to show off a version of himself everyone fell in love with. Regardless of what the future holds for him, fans enjoyed Collins. They would still receive the same amount of love and he enjoyed for years or much more than that. And that's my Phil Collins topic. Now let's move on to the Jim Carrey topic. Now, I read about Jim Carrey yesterday. It was very shocking to me to talk about it. Anyway, Jim Carrey says he's retiring from acting. Wow, it was my number one favorite comedian ever. Now, said in a statement from CNN on KALB TV, NBC, CBS, and CW, said this, okay? One of the world's best known movie comedy stars is taking a step back. Shortly after he celebrated his 60th birthday in January, Jim Carrey said he would plan to retire from acting. His next movie, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, is being released on this coming Friday, will be his last. Carrey says he enjoyed being on the spotlight, play, and spend more time with his family. Star of Dumber and Dumber, an Ace Ventura Bet Detective will not be able to come back. But for now, he said he's done with enough. Now, it's sad to me. He was my number one favorite comedian of all time. You know, that's just me. Now, for my next topic has to do with Ron Howard, Brian Grazer team up with documentary on Jim Henson with full preparation of Muppets career family. Now, exclusive Oscar winners Ron Howard and Brian Grazer, something like that, are teaming up with Disney original documentary, okay? We'll listen to promise to finance portrait, anyway, of Jim Henson, the legendary creator of the Muppets, okay? The non-fiction project with Howard and Grazer, okay, was, imaginative documentaries is being produced for the full preparation of corporation of the Henson family, according to Lease. It will present a federation and emanative look of Henson's illustrations, creating such treasures, characters, and relations, television, and film, with never seen personal archives. The film gave audience an exciting first-person view in the lives of one of the world's most inspiring and classic careers through exclusive home movies, photographs, sketches, and Henson's personal diaries. Wow, okay. Howard directed and produced the Untitled film. Grazer and Imagine documentaries. Sarah Bernstein and Justin Wilkes will produce, okay? Along with Emmy winner Margaret Broad, George Harrison live in the material world, okay? Jim Henson trenches generations throughout his iconic characters, and it was one of the many reasons I've been a long-time fan, Howard said in the statement. I cannot wait to share a side of him in his career. Wow, okay? That people have never seen before, okay? Henson's limitless imagination and restless creativity is like few others, and have influenced so many of our world as we know it. I'm humbled to be able to share a deeper look into his life and story. In the statement, Henson's very confident. The Jim Henson's Comedies Archives is treasure reflects my father's work, personal life, and inspirations, and has been carefully maintained for the last 40 years under the leadership of archivist Karen Falk. Okay, it has been thrilling to see the story that emerged from these materials in the hands of a truly great filmmaker like Ron Howard, who has been perfect spirit and personally to tell Jim Henson's story. Also on board was for the project as executive producer Imaginary Entertainment's Michael Rosenberg, okay? And Disney original documentaries, Marjon Javadi, how to pronounce it. And Mark Monroe will serve as writer-producer on the film. Paul Grawder will serve as editor, executive producer. Marone collaborated with Howard previously on the documentaries such as Bavaria and the Beatles' 8 Days a Week touring years. Wow, okay. Henson died in 1990 at age 53. Among his Muppet creations were Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, and Sesame Street creators including Big Bird, Cookie Monster, and Bert and Ernie. He also developed directed the iconic fantasy films such as The Dark Crystal in 1982 and Labyrinth in 1986. Traces his life and work. A statement noted, the documentary will follow how the brilliant investor came to shape the childhoods of generations to come. This documentary is produced by Imagine Documentaries with Disney's branded television under the Disney Original Documentary banner. The Disney Original Documentary banner will largely produce and aggregate content for Disney Plus, as well as the suits with Disney channels. With more announcements are coming soon, the release noted. Disney, the Jim Henson has impacted of our culture and for generations, and his creative legacy continues to live on, said Jabadi, okay? VP of Disney Original Documentary. And as a iconic storytellers in their own right, Ron Howard, Brian Grazer, Sarah Bernstein, and Justin Wilkes are best of years to share Jim Henson's story with the world. We're thrilled to be partnered with the team at Imagine Documentaries and the Henson family on their undoubtedly inspirational film. No release date nor distributed plan for the film has been announced. but it will be amazing. So yeah, yeah, we're gonna do some topics when we come back. I'm gonna pause right there, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, folks. Just a few more topics to read, and 3 of them are from Remix Plum, and I gotta read 3 more that were supposed to be airing from FWL and to be mine. But anyway, E3 2022 is cancelled. The ESEA plan was to revive the event in 2023, okay? There will be no E3 this year. In the tweet, Will Powers, PR for gaming programs manufacturer Razer, said we received email stating that the digital event was cancelled. IGN eventually reported the news, stating that he has also immediately viewed the email confirming E3 cancellation, okay? The video game trade show and marketing event was originally scheduled to be held in person this year, and all in January, E3 was once again shifted from the in-person event to online only expansion due to the pandemic. Okay, now it seems that the digital event has been completely cancelled. There's also been growing concerns about the fate of an E3 for the past few years. The COVID-19 pandemic continues to affect in-person gatherings, making the process of very large and famously packed event unattractive. Last week, a number of video game industry professionals reported to test positive for COVID-19 after attending the Game Developers Conference in San Francisco. Wow. In addition to pandemic concerns, video game publishers have gradually withdrawn from E3 in favor of hosting their own online events like Nintendo Direct Showcase, which I have to react to soon, E3 Plays Live, and Sony Gets a Play, which is coming out to react. But that was cancelled, by the way. At news of E3's cancellation broke, commensurate video games hype man, Golf Gateway smoothly stepping and announced that Summer Game Fest is confirmed that June of this year. Excited to share that Summer Game Fest will return to June slated events. We're producing another kickoff live show with announcements, news, and first looks. Much more to share in the coming weeks, and along with some very cool new elements for 2022. Okay? While not having the E3 all boards and ill for the continued health of the show, according to the tweet from Initials System Stephen Toyo, the ESA said E3 returned in 2023 with a knowledge showcase that celebrates new and exciting video games and accessories and validations. E3 2023 expected to be both an online and an in-person event. Wow. I am so shocked to hear about this. Anyway, my next topic has to do with Turning Red. Now, if you watch this remix, good news about this. You saw it on DVD on last week. Last week you saw it 2 days, several weeks ago. We talked about Turning Red. Now, Turning Red will be coming to Blu-ray May 3rd, 2022. I'm not sure it's gonna be out yet, but that's just me. It just can have a cover art, but that's just me. My next topic has to do with Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Now, yesterday, it went from rotten to flop. Now, today, it went from 59% to 63%. Just an update for you guys. It didn't have an audio score yet, but we proved him wrong. Anyway, that's my Sonic the Hedgehog 2 topic. I got 2 more topics to read on Will Smith resigned from Academy after slapping Chris Rock at Oscars. I want to do 3 topics to read, and I'm going to be basically it, because in about a few moments, I will be part of DC Comics Fan 2004 live stream. And I got one announcement to make, and I got, let's say, something very special here on my main channel, so be look out for that, and there we go. Now, here we go. Will Smith resigns from Academy after slapping Chris Rock at Oscars. Producing after the telecast, Will Packer said that Smith has been asked to leave after slapping Rock and has been urged officials not to remove the actor. I have to agree with, I don't know what to say here. Will Smith will slap the comedian Chris Rock at the Oscars, said Friday they was resigning from the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Science. I felt worried for both of these actors, saying that he had betrayed his trust to conduct that was shocking, painful, and excitable. Side announcement came that late Friday afternoon. Days after the Academy has confirmed Mr. Smith's actions and opened an inquiry into the incident. I've directly responded to the Academy's disciplinary hearing notice, and I've thoroughly accepted all consequences for my conduct, he said in a statement on Friday. Wow. In spite of other nominees and winners of their opportunity to be celebrating the auxiliary work, he said in a statement, I'm heartbroken. I felt worried, yeah. He said it was accepting further consequences from the board deemed appropriate, okay? Changes take time, he concluded, and I'm committed to doing the work that has ensured that I will never again allow violence to overtake reasons. Good! Thank you! The Academy said it was accepted its resignation. We have received and accepted Mr. Will Smith, acceptance resignation from the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Science. David Rubin, its president, in a statement said, okay, we will continue to move forward with conciliatory proceedings against Mr. Smith for violation of the Academy's standards of conduct. It advised the next scheduled board meeting on April 18th. Wow. Now that he resigned, Mr. Smith has no longer access to Academy screens and events. I have to agree with that, He will also not be able to vote in the Academy Awards. Thank you. However, he could still be nominated for an award. Still be a member is not be a requirement for eligibility, how to pronounce this word. Mr. Smith's resignation came roughly 12 hours after Will Packer, the lead producer of the Oscars telecast, spoke publicly about the episode for the first time. In the interview with Good Morning America on ABC network, who also broadcast the Oscars, Mr. Packer said that after Mr. Smith has been asked to leave the ceremony, he argued the Academy leadership not to personally remove him from the beer and the meal of the live broadcast. Wow. It was so harsh. Anyway, Mr. Packer said that he had learned it from his producer, Sarah Cohen. There were discussions of plans to put psychology remove Mr. Smith from the venue, okay? And so he immediately approached Academy officials and told them that they believe Mr. Rock did not want to make a bad situation worse. Wow. Partnership between Will Smith and Chris Rock. The incident. The Oscars were declared that when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, anyway, who made a joke about Mr. Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. Wow. His speech, moments after on stage accreditation, Mr. Smith won the Oscar for Best Actor. Here's what he said. I'm not going to say what. No. Due to copyright reasons. No. Okay. The aftermath, Mr. Smith, who as the Academy said refused to leave following the incident, apologized to Mr. Rock the next day after the Academy disclosed his actions. A trial for temper, Mr. Smith owned Sir Andrew Williams at Story King Richard. Wow. And started the movement in the Oscars. Wow. Was Paula, Mrs. Smith, hair loss condition, playing a major role in the incident. Wow. It's a sad thing for Jada. I was watching that Rock won that time, which was not the political industry removing Will Smith in that time, Mr. Packer said. And because this had not been explained to me, that was the only option at this point. It was been explained to me that there was a conversation that was not been part of asking him about the industry leave. Good Morning America said this on Twitter, exclusive. Hashtag Oscars producer Will Packer said that Good Morning America about the Frederick's aftermath of Will Smith slapping host Chris Rock live on stage on Hollywood's biggest night. Jeez, how are you bothered by that? Anyway, In the interview, Mr. Packer also said that Mr. Rock's joke about James Mickey Smith hire was unscripted freestyling. Yeah, it was sad to me, I know. He didn't tell one of the bad jokes, he said of Mr. Rock. Someone close to Mrs. Rock, who asked her to speak anonymously, because the Academy's inquiry into the incident and its ongoing said that Mr. Rock was never asked directly if he wanted Mrs. Smith removed. He asked Ms. Ask. It was not clear how Mr. Rock would have been responded. The person said Mr. Rock was only asked if he wanted to press charges. He said that he did not. The person said, Mr. Parker said that like many viewers at home, he had originally thought it was slap might be not being on planet coming bit. Okay? And now he's not entirely sure until he spoke with Mr. Rock backstage that Mr. Smith has actually hit the comedian. Why? Anyway, also took a punch from Mamu Ali. Mr. Packer recalled Mr. Rock telling him, wow, Ali was Will Smith's movie, by the way. Anyway, Mr. Packer said that Mr. Smith reached out and apologized to him the morning after the Oscars. Wow. And he praised Mr. Rock for keep his cool. Chris was keeping his head when everyone else was losing theirs, he said. Wow. I haven't felt so initially devastated, Mr. Packer said, with this incident. Asked if, after hearing Mr. Smith's acceptance speech, he wished that the actor had left the ceremony. Mr. Packer said that he did, knowing that Mr. Smith did not use his remarks to express real consternation and apologize to Mr. Rock, okay? It wasn't going to give the speech while made it truly better. Then yes, okay? Mr. Packer said it was when asked if we wished Mr. Smith had left the ceremony, but because now you don't have any options to somebody who commanded that. Did now in terms of a community acceptance speech at that moment. They continued to be in the room. Wow. Mr. Smith did not apologize to Mr. Rock until Monday morning. After the Academy had commended his actions and amended disciplinary proceedings against him. Mr. Packer's comments came after days of questions about why Mr. Smith has been seen to face no explanations of striking center of live television. Wow. The Academy said in a statement earlier this week that Mr. Smith has been asked to leave the award ceremony following the slap, but has remained. It's still a publication's question that account. Cited anonymous sources and reported that Mr. Packer suggested that he stay. Shortly after the ceremony ended Sunday, the Los Angeles Police Department issued a statement saying that the person who had been slapped is declined to file a police report. In the interview, Mr. Packer described his question of law enforcement involvement. They were saying that this is Barry. We'll go get him, Mr. Packer said in the interview. We're prepared to get him right now. You can't press charges. We'll arrest him. Chris is being very dismissive, okay, of various options. Mr. Packer continued, he was like, no, I'm fine. He was like, no. Wow. Both on Sunday night and the subsequent interviews this week, the Los Angeles Police has maintained that Mr. Smith slapped, okay, qualifies misdemeanor Barry under California law. Now, as a misdemeanor officers, okay, cannot take an action unless the victim is in the face case filed charges, which Mr. Rock did not do. On the interview on Thursday, Deputy Chief Blake Call of Los Angeles Police Department, West Bureau, described that department's role in the less dramatic terms, and the police officers, are primarily responding to patrolling outside the Dolby, fear, and the Academy hires a security company to handle issues inside the building, he said. On Sunday, one police captain was stationed backstage at relationing, okay? Deputy Chief said the police camera inside did not observe the slap himself. Wow, okay. But he quickly became aware of it. The Deputy Chief added the police camera made contact with the respondent for Mr. Rock shortly after the comedian was finished presenting an award. Now returned backstage with his team. Deputy Chief Krause said the reserve community Chris Rock's wishes that he did not want press charges or file a police report. The Deputy Chief said he did not want to do anything. Wow. Anyway, to wrap things up, the police department would not ask if to charge Mr. Smith out the venue, and even that the police have been asked to do that, such a request would not have fallen within the department's purview. Okay, the Deputy Chief said. Anyway, the detectives followed up on Monday with Mr. Rock's apprentice to ensure that he did not want to take action. He ruminated that he did not. The Deputy Chief said Mr. Rock has made his first public comments, okay, about the incident on Wednesday about the comedy show in Boston. Anyway, and I'm still kind of proceeding what happened. Mr. Rock said, while promising to discuss the episode in greater depth later, okay? I'll be serious. It'll be funny. It'll be serious. It'll be funny. Anyway, but I love to. I'm going to tell some jokes. I've been nominated only white actors and actresses for his Warren in 2015, drawing widespread criticism. The Academy did again the next year of looking performances like the ones Mr. Smith gave in Concussion, okay? And at the time, Mr. Pickett Smith at the time was outspoken about what made people saw an urgent need to Academy to become more exclusive. Mr. Smith was less disappointed in his criticism, but he joined her in the boycott and the ceremony, drawing attention to the #OscarsSoWhite movement. I think I would just do 3 more of these topics, 2 more of these topics when we come back. So I'm going to do Jim Carrey, Rockers, and Paul Stanley right after these commercial breaks. Cause I still have about a few more announcements regarding this, but anyway, when we come back, we'll do all of this, and then we'll do the fun facts in the week. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Crazy Bunch's web show, episode 59. I am so sorry for the huge delay. I was in another live stream hosted by DC Comics Fan 2004, and I was doing some walks after this is over. So, thank you for your patience. Let's get back in the topic, shall we? So we got, okay? Okay, anyway. Jim Carrey slams spineless Oscars audience with Will Smith's stand ovation, okay? I was sickened, okay? Jim Carrey was criticizing Hollywood for giving Will Smith a stand ovation when announcing the Oscars, okay? That he won the Best Actor for King Richard, okay? Smith's Oscar victory, okay, was occurred several minutes after he slapped Chris Rock while the comedian was presented the documentary feature category, okay? Rock made a joke about Jacob Pickett Smith, bald head. Wow, okay. Which she shaved last year. After revealing she had ambrosia. I was sickened, Carrey told CBS Gail Kane. Via HuffPost, okay? I was sickened by the standing ovation. Hollywood, it's just a spineless and messy, okay? It really felt like this is really clear addition that we are the cool club anymore. Carrey said Smith should have been escorted out of the Oscar ceremony. After he slapped Rock, King noted that Chris Rock declined that the file police report about his incident, okay? But Carrey claimed that only because the comedian wanted to hustle, however you pronounce it anyway. I have announced this morning that I want to suing Will for $200 million because that video is going to be there forever. It's going to be on regardless, I pronounce it, Carrey said. That insult is going to be last for a very long time. If you want to yell from the audience and show disrespectful and say something on Twitter, that's fine. Not a degree of Carrey, you know? But you do not have the right to walk on stage, smack somebody in the face because they said words. Thank you. Anyway, Carrey concluded the slap came out of nowhere because Will has something going on inside him that's frustrating. I wish him the best. I have nothing against Will Smith. Thank you. Anyway, he have done great things, but it was not a good moment. It was cast a shadow over everyone's shining moment last night. It was a selfish moment. Will Smith issued an apology to Rock on the night after the Oscars, writing jokes about the appearance of a night of a job, but a joke of Jaga's medical condition. It was too much for me to bear. I was reacted emotionally. Wow. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I was embarrassed and my actions was not indicative of the man I want to be. Carrey's currently in the press tour promoting Sonic the Hedgehog 2. The Family Temple opens to open in theaters this Friday. CBS Morning said this. Will Smith issued an apology on Instagram after slapping Chris Rock in the Oscars stage Sunday night. I'm embarrassed and my actions were not innovative of the man I want to be. It read its part, okay? Response to Will Smith slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars has been divided. But Jerry Warham, J. Deluxe on Twitter, says most people don't have the full story of the incident. It's something to magnitude that I don't think can be worked out at a public stage, she says. Okay? That's why I'm going to talk about Jim Carrey. Now let's move on to the Rockstars, okay? Because I'm a huge heavy metal fan myself. That's just me, of course. So, yeah. Anywho, I'm just gonna mute this, so here we go. Okay. Never mind. I just don't want to do it anyway. Rockers weigh in on Will Smith slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars, okay? It was a slap heard and viewed around the world as Chris Rock's joke as a exposure of J. Pickett Smith landed in space and slapping end on Will Smith's hand on the Oscars Sunday night, which is last weekend, by the way, March 27th. The WTF just happened moment was made all the more confusing when the broadcast froze temporarily and sound cut out, leaving viewers wondering if they saw that just saw. Okay. As you might expect, the moment generated plenty of commentary on social media. And including some from musicians who offered their viewpoints on the incident. From background, Rock, a professional comedian and former Oscar host, wow, okay, came out with the award but dropped a few jokes in the lead up to the presentation. Wow. One of them had a comedian pointing out Will Smith and J. Pickett Smith are comedy at Jerry's close crop hair. Wow. Saying he couldn't wait to see her in G.I. Jane 2. And that will be a reference to a film that famously starred Demi Moore as a military soldier who had shaved her head. A joke that did not appear in most Pickett Smith, who have been open about having a vacation, having else this word. A medical condition that led to hair loss. I got a message somewhere on my iPad. Let me see here. Autistic bunch, never mind. Okay. As Rock continued, Will Smith approached him on stage and walked out and slapped him across the face with an open hand. Wow. Then walked up and the television feed started to glitch. Wow. Video came back briefly with no sound. But a video shot of Smith telling Rock, "Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth." With audio and video returned, okay, Rock responded that he was going to supply that then confirmed that was the greatest night in the history of television. Before picking back up in this introduction to the documentary feature category, he was there to present. Well, Smith was later returned to the stage and accepted the Best Actor Oscar, and was speaking while speaking of Richard Williams, the man who played King Richard. Wow. He clearly was also addressing a worthy of his own family in his acceptance speech. Richard Williams, the fierce defender of his family, in this time of my life in this moment, I was overwhelmed by what God is calling on me to do, be in this world. I've been called in my life to represent, protect people. Yeah, I have to agree. Be a river in my people, and then I know what I know what to do. What we do. Okay, 2 minutes. Okay, you got to be able to take abuse, and we gotta be able to people talk crazy about you. In this business, you gotta be able to have the people disrespecting you, and you gotta be small, pretend that's that's okay. He stated later in the speech he apologized to Carrey and his fellow nominees, but not Rock. Wow. Uncensored footage and on both Australia and Japanese TV will be viewed and tweets shared below. Wow, okay. None of that was played in Australia. Oh, wow. Will Smith said, "Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth." Uncensored Will Smith footage as shown on Australian TV. VA Japanese television. The uncensored exchange between Will Smith and Chris Rock. The media has been disabled in response to the report by a copyright owner. Now, it's been good enough for Tony Brooks said that. Anyway, good enough. For his action at the ceremony, Smith has received plenty of the reaction of Twitter. Bad Wolves guitarist and podcast host Doc Coyote, how do you pronounce his last name? Sorry. Offered several different comments on the incident and preserved that he was set. If all those celebs could go blow torch all these years at Ricky Gervais, I pronounced it, the Golden Globes, about slapping somebody, you think Will can control himself? Wow, okay. Okay. And he also said this. I imagine we get a lot of takes from those who say people could stop being so sensitive about comedy and mean jokes, who also prevent and taking matter in your own hands. It will be confusing. Wow. He later added, pretty much conveys a lot of conveyed social media take on the internet. Wow, okay. It says this. Are trans people allowed to slap Dave Capelli? Wow. Y'all know G.I. Jane was a hero of the movie. I have to agree, yeah. We as social society love justified violence. Wow. Wow. So I expect a lot of he had comment takes. I have to agree with Doc Clarity, I pronounced his last name. Doc C, anyway. So I'll take W.L. Will Smith, L. Chris Rock. There was a Twitter feed from Liberty Pod. Anyway. Living Callers, Bernard Reed, so quick to accept the apology that Smith gave during the acceptance speech, said this on Twitter. Will, he said this. Will accepted apologies to Carrey but not to Chris Rock. The black man he put his hands on at the Oscars was telling me a joke? Nah. Wow. Body counts ITs came in a situation with jokes. The effing Oscars got more hood than my effing concert last night. Hashtag bars. This is from last Saturday. Wow. Later adding this. Was called a punchline. I know. Another bad joke. Laugh out loud. Anyway. Wow. Was another take moment. AEW. Anyway. After this insult shocking scene what occurred, Anthrax, Charlie Bente, to share a spot meme, that expressed maybe he's seen this somewhere before. And he said this, okay? WTF. Did Will Smith just punch Chris Rock? Wow. And it say a Pantera virtual display of power meme. And Charlie Bente, if you're watching this, thank you. Anyway. Desmond's, Alex Stolnick's, share a surprise and displeasure from Smith's reaction, to the Rock joke, while also commenting that we're taking away from the Summer Soul documentary win. I missed Oscars 2022, and a whole lot, apparently. Wow. Quick thought. Was he a nice rapper? Meanwhile, scary rappers have a great sense of humor, i.e., Ice-T and Snoop. His IG is laugh out loud funny. Come on, Will Smith. Hashtag Will Smith. Anyway, you don't have to like hashtag Chris Rock's joke, but ugly meltdown. Violence. WTF. Says by Alex Shulman on Twitter. Anyway. He also said in reply for that, but anyway. Daniel Jones also said that his destiny to slap overshadow what should have been a great Oscar moment, and the irony that's been slew in the moments. Summer Soul is a documentary about the important musical event overshadowed by other musical moments, okay? The more important, last night's Summer Soul important Oscars, when was overshadowed by another party discussing Hollywood moment deemed more important. Wow. Okay. Sean Down's Zach Myers for Sherry's shock. Then spoke about the person in attraction of comedian for a joke. Yo, WTF. What the F? I don't know. Said Myers. Okay. Then add this. Are you getting the people to watch a show no one's watched in 3 years? 1, 2, 3. He later observed that this, which is a joke in itself. Excuse me, anyway. It's not a place where you can't make jokes. I have to agree. As a comedian, laugh out loud. Wow. And he also said this. I wish Chris Rock would be down. And that's why everyone F's your wives. Wow. Okay, I'm done. Yes. For Kiss, Paul Stanley. He took a session to the room after the incident. Wow. Wait, Chris Rock made a bad joke about Terry Piggin's appearance. Wow. Will Smith walks off stage, hits him in the face, shouts out obscenity or something else, and later in tears except an Oscar saying, "Love makes you do crazy things." Do a standing opposition. WTF, Hollywood. That's no look, that's weak. Which I'll talk about in the last part of the topic. So anyway. Lev God's Mark Morin spelled out exactly how he thought that argument could have been ended with an apology. Said this. You know what, excuse me, anyway. You know what would be rad? Will said, "I'm sorry, Chris. I should have done that. When you really hurt feelings, and that would make me furious. I lost my cool." Chris said, "I understand. I forgive you. I really didn't mean to hurt y'all like that. I really have to say if I known. After the ceremony, it was reported that multiple outlets with Rock has declined to file charges against Smith over the internet. My last one, I will talk about this, okay? And I said it before, Paul Stanley, okay? Thinks Will Smith and their reaction to Chris Rock was weak. Wow. Okay. Kisses Paul Stanley recently tweeted about the shocking incident that the world watched Will Smith slap Chris Rock on stage because, and I'll have to talk about Brian May on FWO. Anyway, he made a joke about his wife's medical condition. The rocker reflected on the controversial moment and called Smith weak. Wow. Okay. Anyway, Will Smith's wife, Jada Smith, has been suffering from aposia, I haven't announced this word, sorry. A medical condition that affects the immature system and causes her hair loss. Wow, okay. And the actress openly addresses the condition on social media and updates her fans about experience and progress. At the 2022 Academy Awards, Chris Rock hosted a show on stage. Joke about Jay's hair by referring to J.I. Jane, okay? In which Debbie Moore played the role with a buzz cut. Wow. Which Will laughed at the joke initially. The actor's emotion changed when he saw Jay unhappy with the reference. Hence, the guy smacked Chris Rock on stage. Jeez. Will later went on the stage again, receiving an award for himself. After the event, everyone talked about the slap. Jeez. Anyway. And people's opinions were torn into the two sides. Some people stated it was a stage. Anyway. Another said it was deserving for making fun of the medical condition. I have to agree with that. However, Will later apologized and said that the violence is unacceptable. And while the Academy experience is attacked. Wow. Kisses Paul Stanley, excuse me, anyway, was among the people who reacted to the event on Twitter. He stated to believe how easy it was to accept this award and said he was unhappy that we got a standing ovation after referring to a previous incident. He reacted to Hollywood's attitude that the matter and called Will Smith weak. Here's what's Stanley tweet, which I talk about on this page. Anyway, you can see that tweet in those confidential moments below. And, yeah, it was so freaking stupid, you know? That's just me. I will talk about this in another episode of TheCrazyBunch's web show. But you know what? It was so terrible, you know? That's just me. Anyway, that's all I got from topics regarding to that, and then we'll explain about my announcement, okay? Okay. Anyway, I don't want to switch right now, but I got an announcement to make, okay? No spoilers, please. Thank you. Minimize. Anyway. Okay. Anyway. I got an announcement to make, okay? It's about the TheCrazyBunch's web show episode number, no. It's about the future of El Club, okay? 2 weeks from now, we're going to announce a trip across Arlington, Virginia, and Washington D.C. trip, the sequel, and we'll discuss it on an announcement, on an update video on my main channel. Be looking out for that. It will be coming in February 2022, so be looking out for that. Anyway, June 2022, like late June or July. I'm not sure, but that's just me. And of course, 2 other trips. April 2022, I'm looking forward to this. Going to Orlando in the 23rd and 24th to go to SeaWorld. Be welcome for those. And 27th through the 29th, I will be going to MobileCon and my Uncle Kevin's house at the same time. But yeah, be looking for those. And yeah. And yeah, this will be part 2 of my update. Now let's move on to one fun facts of the week. Now I talk about this on FWL. You know, Now it's going to be the Crazy Bunch's web show's only top segment for this series. And that is, of course, I have World Autism Awareness Day / but some of it may known as World Autism Awareness. No, excuse me, World Autism Day or Autism Receptions Day. You know, it's a fact that I have been known because I've been diagnosed with autism since I was 18 months old. You know, and I love it ever since I was been 18 months old, and I'm still loving it. And when I do make projects ever since with you guys, and still loving being autistic ever since. So there you go. So that will be it for the Crazy Bunch's web show episode 59. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for the next one, which is going to be episode 60. And there won't be and then afterwards, no brand new episodes of Crazy Bunch's web show after 60 for the next 2 weeks. Because I will be going to see my dad in the 16th, and I will be at Atlanta on the 23rd. So, more episodes to come on the 29th. So be lookout for that. Until next time, salute Jerry and bye. Peace out, baby. We get more Crazy Bunch's web show episodes, guys, pretty soon. Till then, drink it out. See ya.